Victor Oladipo. Oladipo was drafted second overall in 2013 by the Orlando Magic, showing immense potential right from the start. He quickly became one of the league's most exciting two-way players, renowned for his defensive abilities and explosive athleticism. In his rookie season, he averaged 14.4 points, 4 rebounds, and 4 assists, finishing second in Rookie of the Year voting behind Michael Carter-Williams. His star seemed set to rise. In subsequent seasons, Oladipo's game continued to develop. By his second season, he was averaging 18 points per game, and his performance in the 2015 dunk contest showcased his athleticism to the world. After a trade to the Oklahoma City Thunder, he found himself playing second fiddle to MVP Russell Westbrook. However, it was after his move to the Indiana Pacers that Oladipo truly blossomed. During the 2017 to 2018 season, he was named the NBA's most improved player after leading the league in steals and posting impressive numbers, including 23 points per game. But just as Oladipo's career was reaching new heights, disaster struck. In January 2019, a ruptured quad tendon sidelined him for most of the season and, despite some moments of brilliance following his return, he was never quite the same. By 2021, after bouncing around teams like the Houston Rockets and Miami Heat, Oladipo's career had been derailed by injuries, leaving fans wondering what might have been had his athleticism not been so abruptly taken away. His story serves as a stark reminder of how fragile an NBA career can be, especially for players whose skill set is heavily reliant on explosive physicality. Andre Roberson. Andre Roberson was taken by the Oklahoma City Thunder in the first round of the 2013 NBA draft. While his offensive game was always limited, his defense was unparalleled. Standing at 6 feet 7 inches, he became one of the league's most disruptive perimeter defenders, often assigned the toughest matchups. Despite not being a significant offensive threat, Roberson's value to his team was undeniable. The Thunder's defense was significantly better when he was on the floor, as his length and ability to force misses helped his team immensely. However, Roberson's career took a tragic turn with a ruptured patella tendon in January 2018. The injury kept him sidelined for the rest of the season and beyond, forcing him into a lengthy recovery process. Although he made attempts to return, Roberson's play never reached the elite defensive levels he was known for, and his offensive limitations became more glaring. After brief stints with the Chicago Bulls and other teams, he ended up playing overseas in France, marking the end of what could have been an illustrious NBA career. Roy Hibbert's rise was largely tied to his elite rim protection and the Pacers' success in the early 2010s. As a 7 feet 2 inches center, Hibbert was the defensive anchor for the Pacers, making multiple All-Star teams and even finishing second in Defensive Player of the Year voting. His pivotal role during the 2013 Eastern Conference Finals, where he averaged 22 points and 10 rebounds while pushing the Miami Heat to a Game 7, is still remembered as one of his career highlights. However, Hibbert's downfall came quickly. After a couple of strong seasons, he went into a severe slump. His production dropped dramatically, and by 2015, he was no longer the dominant force he once was. His struggles were compounded by the shift in the NBA toward more versatile, faster-paced play that didn't favor traditional centers like Hibbert. Despite being an all-star, his career trajectory stalled, and after a brief stint with the Los Angeles Lakers, Hibbert was out of the league by the age of 31, a surprising fall for a player who once appeared poised for greatness. Andrew Bynum's story is a cautionary tale about the fragility of talent and the impact of injuries. Drafted by the Los Angeles Lakers as a 17-year-old, Bynum showed great promise. Under the mentorship of legends like Kobe Bryant and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, he was on track to become one of the NBA's top big men. By his 7th season, Bynum averaged 18 points, 12 rebounds, and 2 blocks per game, helping the Lakers win 2 NBA championships. But Bynum's knees were his undoing. Constant knee injuries limited his ability to stay on the court, and after being traded to the Philadelphia 76ers in a deal that brought Dwight Howard to the Lakers, his career spiraled. His knees continued to cause problems, and reports surfaced that Bynum had lost his passion for basketball. Despite multiple attempts to revive his career, Bynum never played again after brief stints with the Cleveland Cavaliers and Indiana Pacers. He was just 27 years old when he was out of the league for good, a tragic fall for one of the most promising centers of his generation. Injuries and their career-altering impact. Many of the players we've highlighted in this documentary suffered injuries that didn't just sideline them for a few games, they drastically altered the course of their careers. For instance, Victor Oladipo's ruptured quad tendon in 2019 was a devastating blow to his promising career. Oladipo was at the height of his powers, winning the Most Improved Player award and making multiple all-defensive teams, but his athleticism, the very thing that made him a top-tier defender and explosive scorer, was robbed from him in one moment. Similarly, Andre Roberson, known for his elite perimeter defense, was never the same after a torn patella tendon. His injury kept him out for extended periods, and by the time he returned, his lack of offensive game became even more of a liability. Injuries like these remind us how fragile an NBA career can be, especially for players whose success relies heavily on physical attributes such as speed, strength, and agility. The mental and emotional toll. While injuries are a physical challenge, the mental and emotional toll they take on players can be just as impactful. For some athletes, the constant pressure to perform at a high level, combined with the stress of trying to recover from debilitating injuries, can lead to a decline in mental health. Take Larry Sanders as an example. Once regarded as one of the best shot blockers in the NBA, his career with the Milwaukee Bucks was derailed not just by injuries but by mental health struggles, including anxiety and depression. Sanders eventually walked away from basketball, citing his mental health as the primary reason for his departure. His story underscores the importance of addressing mental health in the high-pressure world of professional sports, where the line between performance and personal well-being can often become blurred. Likewise, Derek Favors and T.J. Warren saw their potential derailed by injuries, but the emotional strain of being constantly sidelined can't be ignored. The mental frustration of knowing you could have been great, but your body isn't allowing you to reach your peak, is a devastating reality that many athletes face. The NBA's shift toward the modern game. Another factor that affects players' careers is the ever-evolving landscape of the NBA. The league has become faster, more perimeter-oriented, and increasingly reliant on the three-point shot. Players like Roy Hibbert, a dominant center in the early 2010s, saw their careers fall off as the league moved away from traditional big men in favor of smaller, more versatile players. Hibbert's inability to adapt to the faster, more fluid style of play left him behind, while other players who could stretch the floor or switch on defense thrived. This section emphasizes the dual impact of both physical injuries and mental health on NBA careers, illustrating how these external factors often shape the future of talented athletes. The NBA has been shifting toward a more dynamic and flexible playing style, but for players with a more traditional or physically demanding skill set, the transition can be difficult. The mental toll, combined with the physical challenges, often leads to the vanishing of once promising stars. The fragility of NBA careers. As we've seen through the stories of players like Victor Oladipo, Roy Hibbert, Andre Roberson, and Andrew Bynum, the NBA is a league where careers can change in an instant. A player's success can often depend on factors outside their control: injuries, mental health, and even the team's tactical direction. These athletes, who once seemed destined for greatness, found themselves sidelined, unable to recapture their former glory. What could have been? Had injuries not taken their toll on these players, the NBA landscape could have looked very different. Victor Oladipo, for instance, was on track to become one of the league's top defenders and scorers before his quad injury derailed his career. Andre Roberson was an elite defensive specialist whose absence due to injury left a gaping hole for the Thunder. Roy Hibbert, once the defensive anchor for the Pacers, may have seen a longer prime had the NBA not shifted away from traditional centers. And Andrew Bynum, with his elite skills as a young big man, could have been the cornerstone of a championship team had his knees held up. These what-ifs are a part of the tragic beauty of professional sports, an unpredictable journey where even the brightest stars can flicker out too soon. The evolution of the NBA. Another crucial aspect of these stories is the rapid evolution of the NBA. As the game shifts towards smaller, faster, more versatile players, the once immovable big men or defensive specialists often struggle to find a place. Roy Hibbert and Andre Roberson, both valuable pieces at one time, became somewhat obsolete in a league that increasingly favored speed and shooting. The NBA's constant evolution means that even the most talented players may face challenges adapting to new styles of play, leaving them vulnerable to becoming yesterday's stars. A reminder of the unpredictability. In conclusion, the careers of these players serve as a reminder of the unpredictability of life in the NBA. Whether it's the physical toll of injuries or the mental toll of trying to stay relevant in a constantly changing game, many stars who looked like they would shine for years never reached their full potential. But even in their brief moments of brilliance, they left an impact on the league, showing fans just how quickly a career can disappear, vanishing just as quickly as it appeared.